Hello there to YouTube and now as well Odyssey and Rumble, because this is no longer well, it never was really, a single medium channel. It's now on multiple different platforms because, frankly, if you're not adopting alt media, then you're just asking for your own production to be controlled by a large corporation. And even if you don't have an issue with what a lot of these companies do when it comes to censorship, you're just asking for trouble, really, because let's face it, you might not have an issue now, but they might decide that they've got a problem with you in a year's time. They might change the rules. And if you've got one company that controls everything you make, well, you now have to kowtow to what they say. So, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Rumble, and I'm on Odyssey, and you can find all my videos on all three. Now, I haven't made a video in a month. That's because I was in hospital. I was taken into hospital. There was thought I might be having a heart attack. Thankfully, it wasn't that, but it was significantly serious, more serious than I thought it was going to be. If you've watched my previous videos on what it's like to live with a disability, you'll know that I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which affects collagen and the musculature of my body. That's what this was all about. By the way, my alarm on my phone is almost certain to go off any second. Just so you know, that's like its interrupters. Now, with my condition, I knew that I was going to have weakened muscles. But through a mixture of that condition, the fact that I am quite overweight, I haven't been able to have exercise, and just bad fucking luck, I've ended up with a problem with the muscles in my stomach. That means I basically have multiple small hernias that won't heal. I need to desperately lose weight to heal this, which is what I'm going to be doing. But I need to do it now without exercise, because any exercise risks making it worse. So I'm having to crash diet, and I'm being told by the doctor that I need to convalesce completely. I'm supposed to stay in bed as much as possible. I'm not supposed to even be sitting up if I can avoid it, because that puts more pressure on the stomach muscles. I'm not to be doing anything that requires the use of my stomach. So if I'm walking around, if I was opening doors, lifting things up, anything that would put any strain, even a laugh or a cough, I'm not to do any of that. Another scary thought for anyone who's overweight and thinking, oh yeah, that's all well and fine, I'm also not supposed to have any sexual contact of any kind. And as the doctor was very clear to point out, that includes self-inflicted. So no sexual contact of any kind, because when you have an orgasm, guess what? Muscles contract and spasm, and yeah, we can't have that anymore, because that might make it worse. If anything should scare you into losing weight, just remember that. That might just push a couple of people over the edge. Because the problem is that there's no such thing as being fat and healthy. There isn't. The whole fat acceptance thing, the whole body positivity movement, it's a load of bollocks. I know I'm a fat guy and I'm not healthy. Being fat isn't healthy. So yeah, this is the biggest issue for me at the moment. And it's meant that I've had very little to talk about, because I've not really been able to do anything or go anywhere. And whilst I have been reading, I've not been reading as much as I want to, especially the last few days, because I've been in recovery. And you'd think, lying in bed in recovery, like, I know... There's the alarm. Told you it would interrupt us. You'd think that being in recovery, I'd be able to read more. And to be fair, I've read a decent way through. I'm almost halfway through this book now. And I read all of Wuthering Heights as well, which was an interesting read. That was a slow read as well. I'm much more enjoying this one, but this one's hit at a time when it's even harder for me to read now because I'm in more pain and I'm tending to sleep a lot more. Earlier in this month, I was having kind of a weird insomnia thing where I wasn't sleeping very much. I was only sleeping about 4 or 5 hours a day, but I was still tired and in pain the rest of it. Now I've gone the completely other way. I'm sleeping 16, 17, even 18 hours a day some days. because I'm in so much pain and I'm still healing. So that's really pushing everything off for me, because I've barely got more than about 6 or 7 hours of the day of useful time, and I can't really move during it. So by the time I've got up and used the toilet, showered, made myself something to eat, that's most of my time gone. I haven't even been able to clean my own living room. My living room table's covered in cans and old dishes and things like that I need to get rid of, because again, I'm not feeling well enough to really tidy them away. So it's just one of those problems. Now, I do have a few different things I want to talk about. I've got a few more videos I want to make, and I think the main reason I want to make this video right now, I'm literally going to take this video, I'm going to upload it with as little editing as necessary in order to make it viewable, basically. The reason I want to make this video is I need to pull the plaster off, the band-aid, as Americans would say. I need to pull it off and get it over with, because as it stands right now, if I don't post something soon, I'm going to get out of the rhythm of posting something, and it's going to feel like I don't have the time, I don't have the ability, because it's something that Steve Donahue said. If you make time to make videos, it'll become a normal part of your life. It'll be something you'll just make time to do. It'll be something you'll enjoy doing, so it'll be a normal, everyday occurrence for you. If you don't, however, you will quickly fill that time with something else. And after a few weeks of not making videos, you will quickly realise that you don't have a free moment to make videos in, because you used to have that free moment, but you filled it slowly with little bits of other stuff. So there's no free space for it. I've already done that this month. So I need to get back into the habit of making videos. I've got loads of videos I want to make over this last month, and I've never got around to them. But this is just an introduction as to what's been happening for me in January. Like I say, I did read Wuthering Heights, and I am more than a third of the way through The Hod King. So I'm enjoying what I'm reading. I'm going to spend today reading, and I intend to get a good couple of 100 pages into The Hod King, because I have nothing else on today. Today is Friday. I have nothing on and nowhere to go. No one's coming to see me. Nothing to do online. So I have a free day. It's 10:30 in the morning now, because that's when my alarm goes off to remind me to take my medication. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to take my medication, and I'm going to upload this video. And then by 11 o'clock-ish, maybe 11:30, I'll have grabbed something to eat as well while I'm down there, because rendering and uploading doesn't take my time. I don't have to actually really do anything. I can, by noon, at the very latest, be lying back in bed with this book and nothing else to do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lie back in bed and I'm going to just read. So yeah, that's my plan. I reckon I'm going to be able to get through a reasonable amount of this. I'm reading around the 30 to 40 pages an hour mark now, I think. So I should realistically, if I'm reading this for 4 or 5 hours, be able to get through 150 pages, which will take me well past the halfway mark. I may end up having to read this a couple of days into February, but that's okay, because the leather-bound copy of Moby Dick has not arrived yet, and it was due to arrive first week of February, so that's expected. I do still have my copy of Recursion, which was the other book that I'm going to be reading for February, but that's a much shorter book, so I'll be fine. If I can get back into the habit and not end up in hospital again. My reading is actually going fairly well. I would easily have read this book by last week if I didn't spend time in hospital and end up in recuperation. So I think my plan for 2022 is still very doable. And if you want to see what that is, the video, it was my last video that I made. So I think that things are going well for me, at least when it comes to this channel and my reading. I do have a few other things I'm doing as well. I've got a retro gaming thing that I'm going to be starting up soon. I'm going to make a video announcing that and explaining exactly what's going on there. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of excitement for me, because it'll allow me to play some classic video games and get involved with the video game collecting hobby again, because that's something I've missed out on the last few years, because obviously we've not been able to leave the house because of, you know, the stupid bloody virus, and then the overreaction to the stupid bloody virus. So that's made video game collecting a problem. So yeah, I'll be happy to get back into that. I've got a couple of other gaming and book related videos I'd like to make, and I'd also like to make some response videos to a couple of things that have happened recently, including a video responding to Steve Donahue. He read out my question on his Q&A, and I'd like to give a full response, because he gave the expected response, the thing I thought he would say, and if I'm completely honest, the question I asked wasn't a question, it was more of a test. And I'll elaborate on that a little bit more in my next video. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.